Okay, good morning everyone in Chazak. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Monday morning as we are studying together a new Perashah. And we have with us today Perashat Vayetze. Vayetze, Perashah begins, Vayetze Yaakov mebe'er shava vayelech harana. Yaakov Avinu is running away from his brother, from Esav. If you remember, we read last week's Perashah, Yaakov Avinu stole the blessings from his brother. His brother Esav is very upset. His brother wants to kill him. And so Rivka almost commands her son Yaakov to run away and to go to her brother Lavan. And so the Perashah begins, Vayetze Yaakov be'er shava vayelech harana. Yaakov Avinu, we know he goes out, he travels towards Haran. Vayivga b'makom vayalin sham. But all of a sudden he encounters the place, he lodges there. Vayahalom, and he has a dream. One of the most famous dreams. And I'm not sure, correct me if I'm mistaken, I think this is the first dream recorded in the Torah. Could it be? Okay, I'm going to say that right now. I'm just trying to jog my memory. But I think this is the first time a dream is recorded. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the chat. But either way, Vayahalom, he has a dream. Vehine sulam mutzav arza. And in the dream, there is a ladder that is standing on earth. Verosho magi hashamayma. And the head of the ladder is in the heavens. Vehine malache lokim olim veyoredim bo. And there are angels going up, and there are angels going down. Vehine Adonai nitzav alav. God is on top of this ladder. Vayomar, and he says to Yaakov, Ani Adonai Elohei Avraham Avicha ve'Elohei Yitzhak ha'aretz asher ata shochev aleha lecha etenenu zarecha. God says to Jacob, I'm the God of your father, of your grandfather, and the land that you're on is holy. And God is promising over here, Yaakov Avinu, He's promising him that his children will be like the earth, like the afar of the world. Soil of the earth. Ufarasta yamma vakedma v'tzafona v'negba. Wow, you will proliferate west, east, north, south. V'nivrechu becha kol mishpechot ha'adama u'bzarecha. All the families of the earth shall be blessed through you. V'hine anochi imach u'shmarticha bechol asher telech. I'm with you. I'm going to protect you wherever you go. So first of all, notice how God is coming and saying to Yaakov, you are the one continuing in the legacy of Avraham and Yitzchak. So for all those who think Yaakov is a thief for stealing the blessings, that he did something wrong, Hashem is coming down as if to put a stamp. Right after he stole the blessings, right after he ran away, God is saying he did nothing wrong. He did the right thing. And you are going to continue in the legacy of Avraham and Yitzchak. The question in today's class is, what is the significance of the ladder? I get the promise. I understand exactly what God's trying to do over here. God's trying to say, I'm going to be with you. I'm going to protect you. All is good. Have no fear. But what is with this ladder? What is that adding? What does it matter that there's a ladder? The idea is that God's promising him protection. And this is the question we're going to delve into today, B'ezrat Hashem, with the help of the Netivot Shalom. Of course, there are many answers to this question. What does the ladder represent? What is the significance? But at least today, for today's class, let us see what the Netivot Shalom has to offer. The Netivot Shalom says, quoting the Midrash, Vayivga b'makom. Yaakov encountered the place. What does that mean, he encountered the place? On a simple level, it's hard to understand. He encountered b'makom. I don't even know what that means. And he encountered the place. What's b'makom? It should say vayivga. It sounds like a significant place. Something happened. Pshat is really hard to understand on this. Vayivga b'makom, in a place. B'makom, in the place. Okay. But therefore, our Midrash comes and says that bikesh la'avor na'asa ha'olam kulo kimin kotel lefanav. The Yaakov the entire world became like a wall in front of him. He bumped in, that's what it means. He bumped into a wall. For Yaakov right now, this was a very delicate crossroads for him. And let's explain why. You know, Yaakov Avinu, you think about his life till now. Very simple, straight, easy almost. Yaakov Avinu was engaged his whole life in spirituality, in Kedusha. Ve'Yaakov ishtam yoshev ohalim. Yaakov is this beautiful Torah scholar, learning in yeshiva, studious, following the rules, able to just sit all day, learn all day, listening to his mommy, good boy. He had the zechut, and he's not a little kid, by the way, 60-year-old guy. But for 60 years, this guy had nothing to do, nothing to worry about, except for learning Torah. What a beautiful thing. You go into the Bet Midrash, and he's there all day. He hurts nobody. He helps everybody with his learning, with his praying. And there's no sins that this person does. There's no engaging with negativity, with averot. He doesn't have to worry about all the nonsense. All day long, learning, reading Tehillim, just living a holy life, living a kadosh life. This was Yaakov Avinu till now. Even after his father, by the way, sends him away to go get married, he spends another 14 years in Midrash Shem Ve'ever. I mean, this guy is just holy as they come, right? This is Yaakov Avinu. And maybe you remember your days where you had, if you were lucky, a year of Israel, post-high school, seminary, where you got to be that Yaakov for a year. Did anyone here have that experience? Yeah, anyone? Did you ever feel like you had a sabbatical, you took off, you didn't have to worry about all the headaches, about raising a family, about providing money and nonsense of the world? You just got to sit and live a holy life, growing yourself, learning, reading, studying, right? It could even be years that you were in college. You were just able to pursue knowledge. You were able to study, learn the textbooks, right? This is beautiful. No headaches, no business, nothing, right, that you have to worry about. This is a beautiful way to live. And all of a sudden, Yaakov Avinu right here, he's at a crossroad. Vayivga b'makom. He's very nervous because he's about to enter, he's about to engage, he's about to transform into a very different type of person. Radical transformation. Yaakov at this point is about to become the almost exact opposite. He will be doing almost no learning Torah. You know what I mean? For the next who knows how many years. We read forward, we see what ends up happening. He's going to Lavan's house. Lavan, he's going to be working with the biggest crook. He's going to have to be dealing with sheep. He's going to have to be planting who knows what. He's going to have to be dealing with business. He's going to have to be building a family. Not one wife, but 4. You know what I mean? He has to sit there listening to her. Okay, wow, you had that type of day. Oh my gosh. And she said that. Oof, wow, she's so mean. Why would she say that to you? You know what I mean? Just leave me alone. I just want to learn some Torah. I just want to do holy things. And Yaakov is about to be involved in a very, very mundane world. A world that has Lavan, a world that is business-oriented, a world that is filled with wives and raising children and changing diapers. And how do you do all of that? How do you do all of that and not fall? How do you do all of that and remain a tzaddik? How do you change diapers on Yom Kippur instead of going to shul and still feel connected? You know what I mean? I got to sit here stuck with the baby. This was Yaakov's problem. And explains in Netivot Shalom that this is precisely what the ladder is here to answer. The ladder has on it angels going up, angels going down, angels in the outfield, my friends. And the angels represent us. We are Malachei Elohim. And sometimes in life we're going up, going up, going up, where we're learning, where we're growing, where we're feeling it. We're holy, we're spiritual. Sometimes life has, unfortunately, we got to go down. Got to go on a business trip to Austin, Thanksgiving weekend. Flights, $1,200. I got to go there now for this meeting. Not excited to leave my family for Shabbat. I'm going down. Sometimes in life, you're going down the ladder. Sometimes we're going up, going to Israel. We're spending Thanksgiving, Kotel, right? But sometimes in life, you don't always have that beautiful opportunity of going up. Sometimes in life, we're going down, or at least it feels like we're going down. Sometimes we're doing holy things, and sometimes we're not. Yaakov Avinu felt like he was going down right now. So what do I do when I'm descending the ladder? Says God, that's not a problem. The key, stay on the ladder. It does not matter if you're going up, it does not matter if you're going down. Because sometimes life requires this, sometimes life requires that. We don't always get to choose which way we're going in life. We don't always get to choose what we're engaging in. Sometimes life calls for this, sometimes life calls for that. But no matter what, don't let go of the ladder. What does that mean, don't let go of the ladder? Says the Netivot Shalom, always remain in the framework of holiness. Hold on to that ladder. It does not matter if you're going up, it does not matter if you're going down, but just stay on the ladder. Don't let go of the ladder. As long as you have the ladder, we could pull you up. Ve'hineh Adonai nitzav alav. What is on that ladder? On that ladder is God. On that ladder is holiness. No matter where a person is, they can always fill up their day with holiness, with kedusha. They can always stay on the ladder. The parable they give is to a child who is at the mall, and the mall is very big. And the father says to the son, listen, stay next to me. But you may get distracted, you may get lost, but no matter what happens, keep your phone on. Because so long that your phone is on, I can track you. I can find the signal. I can follow you. I can find my iPhone, and I could get you back. Don't turn off the phone. And this, my friends, represents that a Jew, no matter where they are in the world, no matter what stage of life they're in, they could be in the stage of learning, they could be in the stage of not learning, of building a family, of having to deal with Wall Street, of stock markets and business and dealings and wife and children, husband. Doesn't matter what stage you're in. Keep the phone on. Stay on that ladder. Stay on the ladder. Doesn't matter which way you're going down, but just keep holding on to the ladder. What does that mean, keep holding on to the ladder? It means remain connected to holiness. Remain connected to kedusha. You don't need to be in kollel. You don't need to be in seminary to be able to pray every morning. Make sure you're praying every morning. Start your day with Modeh Ani. End your day with Kiryat Shema al Hamitah. You're staying in the framework of holiness. A person is in the middle of the day, they have a few minutes. Open up a Tehillim. You're staying in the framework of holiness. Many times I'm invited to go speak in people's office. Beautiful thing. Bunch of guys, their minds dealing, spying, selling, aggressive sharks. Good, you gotta. You're in the world, no problem. But you know what? Let's stay connected to Kedusha. We could grab a half hour in the middle of the day where we're having lunch, and instead of scrolling through nonsense, let's have class with a rabbi. And I go in there, and these guys, that's staying connected to Kedusha, my friends. When we do that, we're staying on the ladder. A person could be in the middle of Austin, but they have the tefillin with them. They're putting it on. I'm staying connected to Kedusha. I take a food, I take a drink, and I say, Baruch Ata Hashem. I say, God, Ata, you. What does you mean? You, right here. Second person, the way I talk to you. God, you're here with me in Austin. You're here with me. Sha'akol niyavaro, Kedusha, a cup of water in Austin. You're on the ladder because you said a beracha. Today, we're so easy to stay connected to the ladder. Today you may be listening to this right now in the middle of your day in Austin. Who knows where you are? You're on the ladder. You're learning a little Torah, a little Daf Yomi, a little Mishnah Yomi. You can't do a Gemara, no problem. I have a friend in Brooklyn. He started a whole thing of Mishnayot. Mishnayot, where every day a bunch of guys call a phone number, and for 4 or 5 minutes in the middle of the day, I have 5 minutes, I don't have an hour, I have 5 minutes. For 5 minutes they're learning every day in Mishnah. And they're finishing Masechets of Mishnayot. You're staying on the ladder. How we speak. Making sure I use words like Baruch Hashem, Ezrat Hashem. You're staying on the ladder. Making sure I'm using holy words. Making sure I'm honest. You're staying on the ladder. You can have in your office picture of, a mizmor, a tehillim, some beautiful Judaica art, a mezuzah. Maybe have a couple of sefarim there. Fill your house with different materials, filling the home with signs of holiness. You're staying on the ladder. Pictures of rabbis. You're staying on the ladder. Surround yourself with holiness. Stay in the framework of Kedusha. You don't need to be in the study hall of Shem Ve'eved for 14 years in order to be holy, says God. Even if you're going down the ladder, even if you feel like you're going down in life and you're engaging in mundane, but stay on the ladder. Keep your phone on. Stay kadosh. Do kadosh things. A little shaharit, a little mincha, a little arbit, a little beracha, a little tehillim in your pocketbook. I give a ladies' Mesilat Yesharim class every week on a Monday. The girls come. They're coming from I don't know where, their lunch or their gym. Doesn't matter where they're coming from. They open their pocketbook. What are they pulling out? Mesilat Yesharim, a little book that we're studying every single Monday, and they each have their notes and they have their post-its. They're staying on the ladder. Now wherever they go throughout the day, they open their pocketbook. They could be looking for the gum. They could be looking for the keys. They could be looking for, credit card. But right there on top of the book, there's a little Kedusha. They're staying in the framework. A little holiness. A little book, a little reminder. Hashem, you're with me. Hashem didn't go anywhere. So what does Yaakov Avinu say? Yaakov Avinu, look at this. So this is the ladder. The ladder is when we feel like in life we're bumping into a dangerous wall. Vayivga b'makom. But he has a dream. God says, have no fear. Have no fear. Because even here, even if you're going down, even if the angels are going down, but stay on the ladder. And if you stay on the ladder, I'll be with you, I'll protect you. So look at this. Yaakov Avinu wakes up. What does he say when he wakes up, my friends? The most beautiful thing. Yaakov Avinu wakes up. Vayikatz Yaakov mishenato. And Yaakov wakes up. Vayomer, and he says, Achen yesh Hashem b'makom hazeh. Wow. God is in this place. Ve'anochi lo yadati. Wow. You mean, God, I could be in Austin and you could still be there with me? Lo yadati, I didn't know that. You could be with me when I'm there in the meeting, when I'm doing business. You're also there. You're not only in the shul. Lo yadati, I didn't know that. Wow. And Yaakov Avinu learns after this ladder and he teaches us. No matter where in the world we go, my friends, God is there with us. We could take Hashem. And so many synagogues have right there on top of the ark 4 beautiful words. Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. I have Hashem in front of me always. Having Hashem in front of me always. You know what that means? I'm always on the ladder. I may be outside. I may be in a business meeting. I may be in the basketball court. I may be at Yankee Stadium or a football stadium. Shiviti, I'm on the ladder. I make sure to order kosher. I make sure I say beracha. Maybe I even have a tzitzit or a kippah. Depending if I feel comfortable on my level, okay. But shiviti, I have God here with me. God's in front of me. I'm taking God with me. I'm not only with God when I'm in the knis, when I'm in the shul. No. God, let's go. We have a long day. Not take off the kippah. All right, God, I'll see you later. 4:30 minha. No. God, come on. We have a long day. We have this. We have that. Come, let's go. Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. This is what David HaMelech writes in his beautiful book Tehillim. This is how the Ramah begins his work. And this is, by the way, this is, you should know, Mesilat Yesharim, which means the path of the just. where He guides us on growing level after level, from going from one rung to the next. He talks in chapter 25, all the way at the end of the book. How do I acquire a awe of Hashem, a fear of Hashem, but not an unhealthy fear? There's two types of fear, and he talks about this in his book. He says there's a lower level fear where you're afraid of getting punished. Okay, that's a low level fear. That's a fear that even if we could get to that, we're also still doing great. But Ramchal says that's still very low level. There's a much higher level of fear. A fear of awe. Not I'm afraid of getting punished, but I'm afraid of hurting God. I'll give you an example. When you're a kid, you don't want to hurt your sister. Why? Because if you hit your sister, your mom's going to punish you. So when you're a child, you have a fear of punishment. As you get older, you don't want to hit your sister because you're afraid of hurting her. It's nothing to do with afraid of getting punished. Your mom's not going to punish you, but you're more sensitive. So a person grows in their relationship with Hashem. It's no longer about, is God going to put me in hell, Gan Eden? Those motivations are for lower level. Person grows, they're not interested anymore in receiving. Now it's about giving. Now I'm afraid if I do something wrong, will I maybe have not done God justice in giving Him enough honor, enough respect, enough mitzvot, okay? But anyways, he talks in chapter 25, all the way at the end of the book, how to acquire this idea. And he says that really, a person has to meditate, and a person has to internalize that no matter where they are, Hashem is there. Not an easy thing to do. But he says, realize God is everywhere. God is everywhere. God's not only in holy places. Shiviti Hashem v'negdi tamid. No matter where we go, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is there. Person could live with that awareness of Hashem. And, may have been once upon a time a hard thing to do. Hafetz Chaim says, but then what happened? Hashem created technology. We discovered technology. And technology now, he says, very easy for a person to realize. So he says, take a look at an example of a telescope. A telescope allows us to see very far. We could see from here what's going on Mars. Says Hafetz Chaim, so if we could see Mars from here, you don't think Mars could see us? If we could see Mars, that means Hashem could also see what we're doing. The telescope helps us internalize this idea that Hashem is aware, Hashem is involved. He says we have a telephone. I could hear all the way what's going on the other side of the world, live. So if you could hear the other side of the world, you don't think Hashem could hear you? We could take a video and watch it in 100 years from now. It's a scary thing to think what we're able to do with AI. Could maybe, who knows, freeze an egg and a sperm, and maybe in 100 years put them in a some sort of artificial womb. They're talking about all these different ideas. Of course, there's always a third partner. There's HaKadosh Baruch Hu for a baby. But there's so many things today with technology that it's already not even hard for us to understand that Hashem could see what we're doing, and He could hear what we're doing, and He's recording like a video camera what we're doing. And again, not that I'm afraid of lightning coming to strike me, but no, if a big rabbi walked into a room right now, how would you sit? All of a sudden you sit. Posture, right? Why? Because you're afraid of the rabbi hitting you or something? No, you're not afraid of the rabbi. But there's greatness in the room. There's greatness here. A person could reach a level, is very high level. It takes a lot of thought, a lot of meditation. But I could reach a level of shiviti. Hashem is here. Yaakov said, wow, I could bring God into mundane places? I don't know. That's awesome. Sign me up. What do I need to do? Just stay on the ladder. Stay on the ladder. Make sure you're staying close, connected to Kiddusha. Have your rabbi on speed dial. Call him up once every day. Have a, background of your cell phone. Your iPhone, who calls it a cell phone? Have a background, something holy. Make sure you're praying. Make sure you're saying blessings. Make sure you have a little Judaica art. I don't know, something. Stay connected. Stay on the ladder. And as long as a person's staying on the ladder, what does Hashem promise Yaakov? Ushmarticha, I will protect you. No matter who you engage with, it could be Lavan, and it could be Esav, it could be Shechem, but no matter what, Ushmarticha bechol asher telech, vehashivoticha, God promises, and eventually you will return. You will return. Shalem, complete. Your spirituality will not take a hit because you remained on the ladder. We'll stop over here. Hashem should bless us all to always find ways to stay connected to holiness, to always remain in the framework of Kedusha. No matter where we go, my friends, doesn't matter where we go, for Thanksgiving, for winter vacation, coming up, make sure you're always connected to holiness. And this way, we are always meriting the protection of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We'll stop over here. Have a wonderful day, and hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.